Hey, what's up guys, welcome back. In this video I'm going to be talking about a prompt function. So in this prompt function I'm going to create a prompt that lets me store any variable or any command in that prompt. So I'm going to be using a function to store that. So after writing this command, I'm going to call back the function into our main coding, so that we don't have to be rewriting the codes again and again. All we have to do is to reuse them. Remember earlier I told you that a function lets us to reuse any code we have used before. So I'm adding a prompt into a function to let us reuse a code that we have used before. So let's get it. So achieve this, I'm going to create a function now. So I'll start by typing string. So I'm going to call this a prompt. I will say prompt. I will open a parenthesis. Then I want to let the computer know that it's a string text that I want here. So I will also type string. Then I will say prompt text. I'll enter our semicolon. So coming down here, I'm going to print this prompt text. So I'll say print prompt text. So I'm just trying to tell the computer to print what we have here, which is prompt text. Okay, so actually I made a mistake earlier. I'm supposed to add a curly bracket here. I'll hit enter. Then this has to be inside this curly bracket. So I'll come here, I'll paste what I've written before. Then I'll come down here and I'll create another string which we are going to call answer. So I will say string answer should be equal to, so I will just try to register an input that lets us collect input from a user, a variable that lets us collect an input from a user. So which I will use a standard input dot read line sync. So I will say string answer should be equal to stdin dot read line sync. What we have here, open and close parenthesis, then our semicolon. Then we are going to use a return statement to return the answer. So when we return this answer here, we are just trying to tell the system to print this, just return this, to let the user be able to do whatsoever they want to do. So after writing all this, we created a prompt using a string. Then we'll name it a prompt text. So here we ask the computer to print the prompt text. Then we created another string which we called answer, and the answer is equivalent to collecting an input from a user. So this is just kind of being complicated or hard to understand, but when you do this again and again and again, you will definitely have it in your head. So the next thing to do is that I'm going to return this answer. So I'll just write return answer. So I'll enter my semicolon. So after writing this, any other code you put in between these places will not be executed. So you just have to write all your code, then you click on return whatsoever you want to return. So then the next thing is to come inside here, inside our main void. Then we just want to create a text that collects an input from a user. So we don't have to be typing standard input or whatsoever again just to collect an input from a user. All we have to do is just to create a string and call this prompt we have created earlier. Then this prompt is going to display this for the user. So to achieve this, I will say string should be, we can just name this let's say color, because maybe we are just trying to collect a color text from a user. So we can name this color. We'll say color should be equal to, then we then have to call this prompt. So we will now say prompt, and we open and close parentheses. Then we type, maybe we just ask the user to enter a color. Then we enter our semicolon. Then at the bottom, we can decide to, we can say print let's say the color is, then we can use the $sign to call this color we have registered here, and say the color is color. So what is this going to do? This is going to collect an input from a user. So after collecting the input from a user, it's going to store the input here inside this color. So that is why we now came here and say print the color is color, which is the color it whatsoever the user entered in here. So as you can see, we did not even bother typing this again to enable the user to type. Why? Because we have already created the function that we call the prompt function. So when I run this code, we are going to see that it says enter a color. So when I enter blue, it's going to return the color is blue. So it collects the input from the user and it printed out the color is whatsoever the user entered here. So I know this is becoming more complicated, so you just have to be giving it a try here, writing it again and again and again for you to be able to master it. That'll be all for this video. In the next video, we are going to be talking about something that is more advanced.